and welcome to Artcadets Extra. I've decided to do an extra video this week because I've had a request from one of you on how to draw hands. The hands can be a bit tricky, so I thought I'd do a special video on it, and I'm just going to be using graphite pencil and some paper. So if you're ready, let's go. So my aim for this video was to simplify drawing a hand, and I thought the best way to do that would be to draw around our hand. So that's what I did, and then I went in and broke the hand into some simple shapes. So starting off with a square for the palm and some simple rectangles for the fingers. I was looking when I was drawing this at the different heights of the fingers and noticing where they were in relation to each other. So I drew a line from the top of the little finger, and that, roughly speaking, is about the middle of the middle finger. So then I used that to place where the joints are, and noticed also that there are in each finger 2 joints and in the thumb just 1. So then with this I then went on to practice drawing it without the hand shape underneath, so without our template, and using the knowledge that I'd found out from the previous drawing, I drew the rectangles freehand and made sure that the height of the middle finger was about the length of the palm, and compared that then to the height of the other fingers, marking in also where the joints would be. And as I said again, the thumb only has 1 main joint, so that's slightly different. But for the other 4 fingers, once we've drawn those rectangles and then put in where the joints would be, we just simply need to round off the corners of the rectangles to make them look more finger shaped. I also rounded off the shape of the square, and obviously that makes it look a bit more realistic because we haven't got square hands. But it's just trying to simplify a tricky drawing. And also on this picture you can see that where the knuckles and the joints are, the finger is slightly wider at these places, so it does come in slightly. Then adding the fingernails as well, which are just little semicircles which go slightly higher than the length of the finger, depending on whose hand you're drawing. So once I'd done this, I then tried again, this time with the hand facing up, or the palm facing up, because there are some differences to the look of the palm. Obviously you get more detail of the lines of the hand, and you can see the actual pad of the thumb and the little finger as well. So I thought this would be another way to practice what we've just learnt. And using your hand, as you can see I'm doing, constantly looking back at our own hand to compare what we're drawing and the details that are there. It's quite useful to have either a picture, or to have, if you prefer drawing from a picture or an illustration, then that's fine. I just think you might as well use what you've already got. And also doing the palm up, you also see different lines where the finger meets the palm, which I've drawn in there. And also looking at where the palm joins the wrist, which you don't have the same as when you're doing a picture with your palm face down. So basically it's practicing lots of different drawings yourself. Before I then thought, well, not many people want to draw the hand just straight out like that unless you're a traffic warden or a policeman. So I thought I'd draw a picture of the hand holding, like as if it was holding a pencil. So the main tips I can give for this are literally use what you've practiced, use what you've observed when you're drawing your hand. Look at where your knuckles and your joints are. So fingers tend to be drawn quite often as sausages, but they are pretty flexible moving joints, and So draw what you see, not what you think will be there. Also use the negative space. Now negative space is the space around and between the object you're drawing. So if you notice that, like in this drawing that I'm doing here, there's a sort of an egg shape in the middle of the drawing, then make sure that's the same as the shape that you see in between your hand. Am I making any sense? Use negative space, use your observation, use what you practiced, and practice is what will make you become better at drawing. So I suppose my main tips for drawing hands would be to start off simplifying things as much as you can. So I used simple shapes to start with, and then I made comparisons between the height of the fingers and the height of the palm of the hand. I looked at the placement of the joints compared with other fingers. I practiced with the hand facing up and the hand facing down, and once you're happy that you know where everything is, then you can practice drawing the hand in a bit more of a interesting position. And don't forget about negative space, because that can be really useful. You're not just looking at what's there, you're looking at the space it creates around what you're drawing. So say for example when you're drawing your hand flat, you can almost see, like between the first finger and the thumb, a triangle shape. So look at that as well as just looking at the hand itself. Now here I've added a bit more detail to make it a little bit more interesting. So I've added some creases where the finger's bent, and some shading in the darker shadowed areas where the other fingers are not at the front, they're at the back. So it gives the illusion of being a bit more 3D and a bit more realistic. You can spend as much time as you like on these. I haven't spent awfully long on doing too much detail because I wanted to put the emphasis on how to get the shapes there. But do spend a lot more time on the either colouring in or shading if you want to make it as realistic as you can. I hope this tutorial's been useful, and if there's any other tutorials you would like to see me draw or help you with, then please drop a comment in the comments section. And if you've liked it, then don't forget to subscribe, because I would really appreciate the subscriptions, and also would really enjoy doing some more detailed pictures like this for you in the near future. On drawing hands helpful. If you have, then don't forget to leave a comment below, like and subscribe to my channel. And that's all for today. See you next time.